stone-forsaken fools and dusters. I'm sorry. This is the assembly of the clans. Only dashers and occasional guests of state are allowed in. Forgive me. I am so exhausted. I completely forgot about the message from the gate guard. Welcome to Orzammar, Warden. I hope you can forgive our unrest. The loss of our king has hit us hard. Respect for your role is great, but you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne. Troubling, but it will still seem distant compared to the empty throne. The assembly is blind to all else. This is their world, and it ended when Endrin died. I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Bhelen or Lord Harrowmont, and they are slow to trust anyone in these uncertain times. I only wish there was more I could do for you.
Warden, welcome. It is always a blessing for Orzammar to host your order. I am Vartag Dwarven, top advisor to our good Prince Bhelen. What news do you bring? Yes, the treaty. I've seen it in the Shaper's libraries. Now the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now. No one wishes this fight over more than Bhelen. But while it rages, Orzammar can spare no one to combat what may or may not be a new blight. I believe you, but what are we to do? If Bhelen followed his heart and sent his men to aid you, Harrowmont would steal his throne. We would defeat the blight and return to find our homeland devastated by an incompetent tyrant. Perhaps you could prove to Prince Bhelen your intentions are just. If you show you owe Harrowmont no fealty, I'm sure Bhelen would help you. Harrowmont has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Harrowmont's deception, I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude. Harrowmont promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmi. Harrowmont can't possibly grant it to both of them, but they won't find out until after the vote is cast. I have copies of the promissory notes Harrowmont gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes. That's not important. If they ask, say you found them while searching the Shaper's libraries for your treaty. Normally, the Shapers would handle this sort of accusation. They are the scholars who manage our laws, histories, and genealogies. They are the final arbiters of all disputes in Orzammar. Unfortunately, the Shaper of Memories is the most important among them, and his grandfather was Lord Harrowmont's aunt's first cousin. Obviously, we cannot expect him to offer an unbiased opinion. I guess I can't expect you surfacers to understand the importance of family in Orzammar. The Shaper is biased, and if you want Prince Bhelen's help, you'll have to show where your loyalties lie. Will you do it? Lady Dace doesn't leave the quarter much, but Lord Helmi's adventurous, likes to spend his time at tapsters in the Commons. Remember, don't tell them you got these papers from me. You learned of them and drew your own conclusions.
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulin Forrender, second to Lord Harrowmont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help. That may be, and that is a terrible risk for the surface. But even if the world would end tomorrow, Lord Harrowmont cannot ignore Bhelen today. He cannot afford to trust anyone of unproven loyalties. You're asking the King of Orzammar to send armies to the surface, but Orzammar has no king and we have no army. Right now, the men who should be fighting Darkspawn are brawling in the street. If this situation is not resolved, we face civil war. If you want Lord Harrowmont's time now, you'll have to prove you have no intention of turning against him later. If you wish to show you have no loyalty to Bhelen, then work against him in Harrowmont's name. Bhelen is hosting a proving today, supposedly to honor his father's memory. The Deshers take it very seriously, and unfortunately, Bhelen found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harrowmont's best fighters into stepping down. The proving is a contest of the best warriors in Orzammar. By fighting, they show who has the ancestors' favor. If you were to enter the proving as Lord Harrowmont's champion, it would prove your loyalty beyond a doubt. Bhelen would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Harrowmont would have no fear of meeting with you then. Excellent. The arena is located off the Commons. Talk to the Proving Master and tell him you're entering Lord Harrowmont's roster. The key fighters we lost were Guidon and Baisel. You can look for them in the fighters' preparation chambers behind the ring. And be sure it's before the fights begin. After the first bout, no one may change the roster. If you need to find me again, I will wait in the Tapster's Tavern off the Commons. There is no better place to hear gossip. Perhaps even word of your victory.
Thief! Who would dare take from the memories? Warden, I'm outraged. A thief in the Shaperate. What have we been reduced to? I did. He was bald, with the most garish brand across his head. Almost like he took pride in being castless. Imagine! He's probably in the slums somewhere. As if he'd find a buyer for a stolen tome in Dust Town. They couldn't know the value.
Oh, pardon me. Were you looking for a particular volume? Not that I could really help. I, don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research. Not exactly, but... I'm looking for any birth records from the old Ortan Tig. It fell in the last blight, and my mother's family claims to be related. If I'm an Ortan, it means I'm noble. I'd have my own house, a seat in the assembly. Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the Tig's ruins, somewhere in the deep roads. You're from the surface. What do you know about fighting Darkspawn? There aren't even any expeditions planned until they settle this election. Otherwise, you need special permission from the Assembly, or some great lord. A Grey Warden? Mother always said that if anyone could find the Tig, it was the Wardens. I hear Prince Bhelen and Lord Harrowmont have both been sending out small teams these days. Yes, if you can find the Tig in any records, that could do it. That could prove I'm a noble. If you could. Maybe now that you're looking. It's almost too much to hope.
When I last walked this hall, Endrin was king and Orzammar was at peace. The memories often speak of the swiftness with which change overtakes us. But it is different to see it firsthand. I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. I am Zebor, the Shaper of Memories. The Grey Warden's visit has been recorded in the memories, along with all who accompany you. These are Harrowmont lands promised here. But these are not the deals we approved at the Shaperate. Where did you get these? Whom are you protecting? It is a crime against the Shaperate to falsify legal documents. Not entirely. There were 2 promised deals, but their terms differed significantly from what is presented here. It appears the scripter altered the dates and locations of the agreements to make them identical. He is a kinsman, yes. If you count to the 6th degree of remove, I am related to every noble lineage still represented in Orzammar. I can even trace my descendant directly to House Sigmund, which lost its tie to the Darkspawn 13 generations ago. The Shaperate do not vote. We simply record history as it happens. I cannot speak my opinions. History can be changed with a careless word. The prince consulted me before his father died. He wanted to know about King Bimo, the last king to rule during a blight. I told him Bimo made many changes during his rule. The assembly was even disbanded for a 2-year period. Bimo declared that, in times of war, the warrior caste answered directly to the king, and all voting was suspended. Bhelen seemed quite interested. I am the man to ask if you wish to access the memories of the ancestors. What is it you would know? You are an outsider, Warden, but not outside the law. I hope you will not do anything to challenge the stability of Orzammar.
Yes! Legion of the Dead Warriors secretly wear Prince Bhelen's colors.
What do you want? Ah, I suppose you're the Grey Warden everyone's talking about. It's fascinating the surface has an entire order dedicated to fighting Darkspawn. Down here, that's just what fighting means. But I'm sure it's more difficult on the surface. It must be much harder to find them. Now, was that an attempt to cozen me into revealing my choice, or are you simply making small talk? It's so hard to tell with you surface types. You're all so charmingly direct and artless. Who wants to know? It certainly can't be you. What interest would a Grey Warden have in who rules Orzammar? An interesting accusation. But to cheat me, wouldn't Harrowmont and I need to be in business? If I did, I'd need to see what evidence makes you so eager to accuse a man who might be king. Where did you get these? Never mind. It is true enough, but there's nothing I can do about it. This deal was made on behalf of our entire house. Only my father can revoke it. My vote is the voice of my house. I cannot go against the wishes of my lord. Unfortunately, he won't be back for weeks. He is leading a Deep Roads expedition, trying to secure an ancient thaig. It's unlikely he'll be back before the election, but perhaps this vote is important enough for you to brave the tunnels to tell him? the Dace family would be in your debt. He was searching an old Idukan site. He left me with this map, in case his expedition never returned. I'll give you a pass as well. Usually, no one is allowed past the front lines. Does that mean you'll go? So Bhelen's victory means enough for you to risk your life. How interesting.
News of the hour. Lord Bhelen promises radical changes that will offend
2 years tomorrow. By all the holy sodding ancestors, how can you people just ignore that?
Bronca didn't go alone, Aqua. She took the whole house, everybody but you. So just get over to Tapster's and drown yourself already. You know as well as I do that's how this always ends.
You think I'm afraid of some cub warrior who's barely off the teach? Ha! I'll...
You lift a weapon or attack a single citizen in Orzammar, and you're stripped of your caste and exiled. Even you can't have forgotten that. Get out of here before I call a guardsman. Can you believe it? Ogren's barely even warrior caste anymore, and he just clomps in here like he's entitled. Well, he killed Lord Mino's youngest son in a duel to first blood. It was a huge scandal. Ogren should have been executed, but he'd won honors in the deep roads. Instead, they stripped him of all weapons and forbid him from engaging in fights within city limits. If he breaks the decree, he'll be exiled. She's still his wife, isn't she? Even if she took their entire house into the deep roads and abandoned him. Well, before she was a paragon, she was just a smith. And Ogren was one of the best warriors of his generation. Chasing some old treasure, she was quite secretive. Outright rude, really. She said she never asked to found a house, that she didn't care about politics, and that we were too self-absorbed to defeat the Darkspawn. She actually threatened anyone who said they'd come after her. She invented a smokeless fuel that let the Smith caste increase their output by nearly a third. Deaths from the Black Lung also dropped. The Assembly said she had the favor of the ancestors and declared her a paragon. They moved Bronca, Ogren, and all their relatives to the noble caste and founded a new house in her name. Did you see any guardsmen? Tell them Ogren was at it again.
I knew I should have stuck to common nugs. I've gone and lost them too. I'll never find them the way they skitter. No way I'm going back to that supplier in Dust Town. Guess I'm shutting it down. Gotta boil them before roasting, but otherwise no, safe as sand. Some people swear they make good pets. May as well leash a turnip, I say. Good on you, stranger. Only need one to turn this around.
You look like you're not from around here. Oh, wonderful! I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle? I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study. I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing. Then I'll wait for the next caravan. I'm not giving up. Someday they will take me. I refuse to accept anything less.
Greetings, and welcome to Garen Garrison's luxury goods shop. You're awfully tall, you know. Did someone stretch you? What was I saying? Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't notice. Most people don't anymore. Or maybe they're too polite to mention it. I had a little incident a few years back. Too much time with the raw lyrium ore, you know. Maybe it was a bad vein. I cut myself and the dust got straight in the blood. Since then, it's been a little hard for me to concentrate. Except when forging. Then I'm straight as an arrow. Best work you've ever seen. Look around the shop. See for yourself. Of course we are. Weak surfacers like you touch the raw ore, and you'll bleed from your eyeballs in hours. Weird seeing how big you are. Even surface dwarves lose it. Us down here, though, we should be able to handle it just fine. Only not too much, and not every day, and not breathing the dust, and not direct in the blood. Ancestors' own bad luck. Not crazy, just a little forgetful. Don't worry, I'm fine when I work. Just look at my wares. I have the best blades here. Enchanted to hold fire, ice, anything you want to put in it. Right. Best in the trade, you know. I work the ore myself.
So, I've been hearing rumors that a certain wine merchant is falling behind on his payments.
I can't imagine what you mean. I pay my expenses.
What about the expenses your good friend Jarvia incurs when providing your protection? It's not easy ensuring nothing bad happens, that no one decides to just burn everything in your store.
My store! Please, I don't have much. Business isn't good. People are scared. Tell Jarvia I'll get her money.
Jarvia's not happy with your promises, old man. Now let's go inside and see what you've been holding back.
All right. This is all I have right now. I could get more if I sell something.
Well, well. Looks like we have a visitor. Friend of yours?
You get out of here. This is private business. Please, don't get involved with this. You don't know what they're like.
Then allow me to make some introductions. These are dangerous times in Orzammar, stranger. Lucky us, the merciful Jarvia is offering protection from the chaos. You're wearing some fancy stuff there. Might make you a target. So if you want the Carta's guarantee of safety, it's yours for the reasonable price of 10 gold sovereigns. Or I can't say what might happen. Then I can't be responsible for what happens to you.
What have you done? Great ancestors, he's dead! In my store. I have to get out of here. I have to hide. Jarvia will hunt me down for this. For painting my name on the largest target in Orzammar? Sodding stone, why do you think we paid Jarvia's extortion? You've ruined me. If I die, it's your fault. I have to run.
All right.
Forget it. I know what you think of my dream.
Welcome to Jannar Family Armorers. I must say, you look like my favorite kind of customer. Looking for a new set of mail? At Jannar's, we have everything from leather to platinum. Of course, keep in mind we also take items on trade.
I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone. My name is Vilda, widow of Turok of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Rock. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul. It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them. Perhaps his body could be recovered. His bones. Something to ensure his spirit is not trapped forever. That would be some comfort. You're asking what I would pay for your services? I have little money since my husband died. But wait, I saved his shield, the masterpiece my husband smithed. I was saving it for Ruck's return. If someone were to find my son or his body, they can have the shield with my blessing. How? There is no way except to brave the deep roads yourself. A warden. So you could do it. Only wardens face the deep roads without a company packing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers. Please, find me as soon as you return.
Maker's blessing on you, brother. I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar. There is resistance. It's obvious the world wasn't created by the mortal souls who dwelt within it. Yet the dwarves of Orzammar persist in worshipping their own forefathers. You speak as if these people have deliberately chosen to reject the Maker, but most of them haven't even heard his name. How can they choose the path of enlightenment if they never learn that the path exists? Andraste revealed the truth. The Maker took her up to live at his right hand and... No, never mind. It's clear you strayed too far to be brought back with a single conversation.
do you want, Warden? You're out of your element down here. I'm no fool. Nobody just wanders around in Dusttown. You're here looking for me, and I don't like it. You've walked into a sodding fight, Warden, and I've already passed your stupid tome along. Too bad for you.
Spare a bit for the needy? Please. Have you a coin to spare, my lord? It's for my son. He's sick. He hasn't any clean clothes to wear or anything to eat today. Neither have I. And what would you have me do? With a sick infant and no husband to help? When my very family has disowned me unless I... But no, I can't bear to even think of it. My son's father is casteless, as is he. I used to be a minor, but my parents stripped my caste and refused to accept me back. Unless I agree to abandon the child in the deep roads and pretend I never bore him. I cannot abandon my baby. The Shapers teach that only children of true lineage exist, not those born casteless. But they never carried a child. He cries like any other infant, and smiles when he's warm and full. I can't kill him because of an accident of birth, an accident I forced on him. I thought about that. They say there's no caste up there, that humans don't care about lineage. I've never met a surfacer, though. I thought it might not be safe. How rude! But true. What do I risk on the surface that's worse than starving here? Thank you, stranger, for opening my eyes. Perhaps I'll see you next in the light of the sun.
All
they're everywhere! I can't take it! What? Get away! You'll change like the rest! Monsters hidden in all my friends! There's things older than Darkspawn. And once you're in the story, they find you. See? I found copies. All from the same pen, and older than the ones in song. Dormant my ass. Take them. I want out. I won't disappear chasing a lie. I won't.
Told him I don't understand why the proof is I mean, it's how they...
What do you want? Hey, I heard about you. Grey Warden, coming from the surface. Great crisis in the world. People are saying how you've thrown yourself on Harrowmont's wagon train. I figured you'd be the one, you know, who could help me find Branka. But I guess you're just like all the rest. You don't need a king to face a blight. You need a paragon. The Assembly elects them. But they're higher than the Assembly. They become nobles, but they're more than anyone born to a house. They're what every dwarf with a spine not made of soap dreams of being. Aye, of course. Being a paragon would be a dusted sight better than this. Why do you care what I want? Nobody cares about what I want. Your boss trying to butter me up or what? If you want the secrets of a paragon, do the work and find her. There, now that's the abuse I'm used to. I still don't trust you, of course. Your boss, he's like the rest of them. I know he's been poking around, trying to find things out about her, what she was looking for. Won't tell me spit, though. He looking to take it for himself? A little lost technology of the ancients to throw Bhelen right out of the picture? You are looking for it. Of course, that's all anyone cares about. Well, sod off and sod your mother, too. I need a bleeding drink. You keep on your errands. Until your boss really commits to looking, you're getting nothing but smoke out of old Ogren.
And then he practically slapped me. Lord Dennick Helmi, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending time in taverns. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden? But there are those like you who see this with concern, no? Well, I've taken the time to actually talk to the other castes. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the assembly. Orzammar are so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary. Badly. Oh, you're serious? Well, it's simple, I guess. The king and elected deshers of the assembly are at the top. Then it's the nobles. Then the warriors and all the craftsmen. At the bottom are servants. The casteless and criminals are below even that. Your caste is determined by that of your same-sex parent. And that's where you stay your whole life, whatever your skill. Me and 79 other fine, upstanding examples of how someone who's born into every privilege inevitably wants more. They're not fond of my views on equality. I doubt either candidate has been outside the Diamond Quarter in his life. But Lord Harrowmont seems a bit more forgiving. Prince Bhelen's brilliant, I'll give him that, and subtle as sin. But I don't think anything in Orzammar matters more to him than winning. Oh, well, I'd ask for proof, or why you care, but frankly, I'm so tired of it I'm not even surprised anymore. I don't even want the land, but my house would kill me if I turned it down. Responsibilities, you know. Now I'll have to go through the whole process of rejecting the deal. And we'll both have to try something else. And I thought it was going to be a nice day. I actually thought he was the better candidate. You must think I'm pretty soddy naive, huh? They're all the same, well-dressed, blood-sucking cave ticks. I'll have to inform Mother that Lord Harrowmont hasn't bought our vote after all.
This deal was all their making, Warden. Technically, I haven't done anything wrong. We have no business. Unless you want to make a few coins. Not that I'm suggesting anything, but you're holding the prize now. I have a collector in mind. Who actually sells the item doesn't matter. It's your call. As always, I let people make their own decisions. Yes, well, I'll keep my nose clean until you're long gone. How about that? I'm just a businessman. I merely exploit opportunities. I won't get in your way.
What's this? An elf? I'm sorry, but I cannot allow you past the front lines without Adesh's permission. And I've heard nothing of any new patrols scheduled to leave today.
It'll be our business when we drag your corpse out. The Darkspawn have pulled back, but they are down there.
Either we finally have the edge, which I doubt, or the beasts are building up numbers for the next attack.
The surface? But I thought the vermin never went up that far except
during blights. Ancestors save us if that's what's happening. Into the deep roads? Not without a full unit of soldiers to back you, my friend. Or Adesh's permission to risk yourself. Orzammar can't afford to lose its citizens or honored guests on casual visits to the deeps. I see your seal there. Well, the roads are yours. But be careful. Just because the beasts have pulled back from Orzammar doesn't mean there are any fewer in the deep roads. Either we finally have the edge, which I doubt, or the beasts are... Best of luck.
Yes. Yes.
I'm off.
All right. Keep going. Yes.
Yes!
pulled us from a tight spot, friend. You have my gratitude. I am Lord Anwar Dace. So how does an elf come to be down here anyway? And why would I do that? I have nothing but respect for Harrowmont and he for me. I don't understand. What could... These are the terms of a deal we made with Lord Harrowmont, but... the charlatan. He's promised the exact same land to Helmi. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I owe you twice now. My life and my house's fortune. I should not discuss such things, but it is definitely troubling. I don't think I could in good conscience support such a man. I must return now. My men need healing and I want to look into this. You wish to travel with us? And let us reach Orzammar before more beasts find our scent. Thank you for your service.
You have House Dace's thanks.
A new offensive is required against the Darkspawn, says Lord Bhelen.
I'm off.
Well, I hear there were a few angry messengers sent to the Harrowmont estate a moment ago. So you were serious about wanting to help us. Are you ready to meet Bhelen now? I'm going to assume that wasn't sarcasm. I warn you, be on your best behavior, and keep your weapons sheathed.
I am impressed, Warden. Not many outsiders so quickly grasp Orzammar's rather convoluted politics. I am Prince Bhelen. Vartag told me of your efforts against the usurper who tried to claim my father's throne. My father lost 2 sons when one turned against the other. He was mad with grief, and Harrowmont did all he could to drive him over the edge. I was his only living child, and Harrowmont barred me from him. I had to tell him goodbye by common messenger. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side? If you believe that, why are you here? Then we have a common goal. We may not like each other, but the Blight is our first priority. We need absolute unity to fight against the fulcrum of true evil. Unfortunately, while this debate rages, I have no power to send the troops you need. You've seen for yourself, the city is a slaughterhouse. Criminals run lawless. I could never hold the throne if I allowed such chaos. I only promised to hear your story. Now I will help when I can. But I must send what troops I have now to combat Jarvia and her so-called Carta. They know Orzammar is divided now and has no time for them. It's made them bold. If I show the city I can eliminate such a threat, well, let's just say my position would be stronger. I'd never ask for such a thing, but if you do eliminate Jarvia and her thugs, you would have my gratitude, and my promise that as king I will send as many troops as you need to fight the Darkspawn. Unfortunately, I have little information on Jarvia. Her base of power is in Dust Town, the lowest part of the city, and my men have few sources there. Maybe the castless will talk more freely with a stranger. And I will wait eagerly for your return. I'm surprised to see you back. I've heard of no tragic events in Dust Town. Have you accomplished what I asked? Certainly. We can discuss troop maneuvers, strategies, past successes against archdemons. As soon as you rid me of the parasite draining Orzammar's life. Until then, I have nothing to say. I wouldn't dawdle. The longer you take, the more both Jarvia and the Darkspawn build their power.
Yes!
Going. Yes. This is getting rough.
What's going on?
All right.
By the ancestors. Good on you, Warden. You caught them in the act. I guess desperate times drive people to strange things.
All right. going.
All be aware that the Grey Wardens have aligned with Lord Bhelen. Be not afraid to follow suit. Bhelen. End this for Harrowmont.
I'm off.
You found it. Warden, you have my gratitude. You're a bright spot in an otherwise dark.
Lord Harrowmont, furious at the Grey Warden's interference.
News of the hour. Lord Bhelen proven to be working with surfacers. Dedicated to Dwarven value.
Go on, I'm out of the nug game, got nothing to sell. Saraka, I'm back in the game, such as it is. I don't have much besides gratitude, but find a bunch more of these and I'll toss you whatever I've found. You're the best wrangler I've ever seen. But there's more out there. You're a trust Vala, my nug wrangling friend.
Have you seen my lunch? It's a piece of lichen bread with a spread of old cheese and shredded dried meat. I'm only asking because you never know who's going to get hungry. Right. Best in the trade, you know. I work the ore myself.
Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter. If you work hard like Vartag,
Is there a nug left in all of Thedas? Don't think so. You're astounding.
Have you seen... I'm only asking... Right.
The Warden is joined with Bhelen. We can't allow it. The Warden is joined with Bhelen. We can't allow it.
Like to buy something, I hope. I want that surface wealth coming back to us, Bhelen's ascension willing. I'll take your gold. You're good for that.
Going.